You're listening to TNCRadio.live. Remember to tune into the Truckers Network Show with Shelley Johnson. Weekdays at 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern.
Join Shelley Johnson and Kathy Tuccaro every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Time for Women Road Warriors on your driver navigation station, TNCRadio.live.
Welcome in, TNCRadio.live. We're live on a Wednesday night, May the 31st, 2023. And this is Taillights with the Baums. And now here's your host, Angie Baum.
Welcome back, everybody. So glad to have you guys here on a Wednesday evening. Larry's driving tonight, so it's just me. But we have my really good friend, Candace, with us. Candace, you want to come in and say hi and tell everybody a little bit about you?
Sure. So I'm Candace. I am 33. I am a trucker wife of going on 5 years, and I'm a full-time writer.
Now, you used to be a truck driver before you became a writer. How long were you a truck driver for?
So I got my Class B in 2011, and then in 2019, I got my Class A, and I was a team driver with my husband, my now husband, for 2 years until I had to medically stop.
Yeah, that's the worst. I don't know. I know we actually had a friend last week that he had to medically quit, but his was for a different reason. His was for diabetes. And I was like, but I'm glad you're still able to be on the truck, so at least you get some of the trucking industry in you. But it's got to be hard being a passenger and not a driver.
Oh my gosh, it's hard. Like when you hear those words, we're going to have to take your license. Like that cuts straight through you. Because you guys could only imagine, that's taking that lifestyle away from you unwanted.
Absolutely. So you want to explain to everybody kind of what happened and what caused you to have your CDL taken away from you?
Yeah. So in 2021, I had a seizure and ended up in the hospital. And when they did a CT scan, they found glioblastoma multiforme, which is a form of brain cancer. And with where the tumors are placed intracranial, they cause a lot of seizures. And that was the main reason why I couldn't keep driving, was because I was having seizures and I couldn't get them under control. I mean, there are some nights still where I just have clusters of seizures, like 6 to 8 at a time.
Oh my goodness. So, what can you do? Just let the seizure just ride itself out?
Yeah, after so many years, he's pretty much gotten it, he knows like if it's an abnormal seizure, and he knows at that point that I need to go to the hospital. But, when I go to the emergency room just for a seizure, they're like, there's really nothing we can do. So I am on a lot of medicine. And they've kind of slowed down. They're not, every day now, but I still can't go the full 6 months without a seizure so that I can get my license back.
I was just going to ask you what the requirement was, and it's 6 months.
Yeah, 6 months seizure free. And I just and it's discouraging because sometimes you get like right there and then it happens again.
No.
And then, we were going to do surgery to remove them to see if that helped with it, but they're completely inoperable. So, we've had the talk with doctors, and they put that 2 to 4 years on, but I don't go by that. The man upstairs will call me home when he's ready.
So there's, at this point, there's nothing that they can do. It's inoperable at this point. Are they wanting you to do any chemo or radiation or anything?
I did 4 rounds of chemo and radiation, and it seemed like I just got really, really sick. And then towards right at like the beginning of my 4th round, we did another CT scan, and I had 1 more intracranial and 3 more outer cranial tumors. So I gained more while on chemo. And there were times where I couldn't even get out of bed. Like, he would have to get me out of bed, get me dressed. He would rub lotion all over me. I wasn't eating. It was rough. And, I told him, I was like, if it's not going to help and I'm getting more, I don't want to keep taking it.
No, I don't blame you. And here's what a lot of people may not know about you, which I think makes it even more difficult with you having the diagnosis that you have, is that you have small children at home.
I do. I have a 5, 7, 9, and a 14-year-old, and breaking the news to them that there was really nothing else, and nothing else that we could do, and that, the inevitable was going to happen. We just don't have that, they say 2 to 4 years, but I'm here 2 years later, and that was very hard.
I can imagine. I couldn't even imagine having to tell my children something like that, and especially them being of such a young age and trying to, help them comprehend that while you're still trying to comprehend it as well.
Yeah. And, my youngest 2 really didn't they know mommy's sick, but the older
right.
2, well, my daughter is the middle. She's the 9-year-old, and she kind of grasps, hey, mom's sick. But my oldest one, he's still kind of, we went to military ball, and he said a couple weeks ago with his school, and he's like, I don't know if I'm ever going to get to have this dance with you again. We never know. And that hit me hard.
Aww. And
so I think he understands
so
it.
Proud of him.
Oh my gosh, he was knocking on felonies doors at 13, and he went to a military school, and he's doing great. Super proud of him.
Oh, that's so awesome. I know when we talk on the phone, you're always telling me all the things that he's been doing, how his grades are getting better, and it's always good to hear.
Yeah, he's on 80 honor roll. He got it. He tried out for color guard. He got on the color guard. He's just excelling. They told him that, he could be battalion commander in his 12th grade year. If he wanted it, he could have it. So it's a proud awesome. Mama moment.
Well, heck yeah, you deserve it. So I know, the other thing is when you lost your CDL and you had to become a passenger on the truck, you also lost an income too. I'm sure that was a huge adjustment as well.
We did. We lost an income. And a lot of people don't know, but I do makeup. I have brand deals on TikTok that I earned on TikTok with a few makeup brands, and that generates a little bit of an income, but it's nothing like both of us working.
Yeah, and it's going to be hard for you guys having to adjust. What happens if he's driving down the road and you have a seizure? Do you guys have a system in place?
We actually have an amazing service dog who knows when I'm going to have a seizure before I even know. I'll start feeling, kind of sluggish, and that's kind of the last thing that I remember. And sorry, it's loud in here. But she will jump back and forth from front to back, front to back, front to back, and tell him, and he'll know, that's her clue that I'm going to have it. His clue that lets him know I'm going to have a seizure. And she will also, like, she's been through a lot of training, so she will actually, if I'm laying on my back in the bed, she will actually roll me on my side. She'll put her head underneath of me if I don't have a pillow under me. She is absolutely amazing.
Oh, that's awesome. We're going to take just a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll talk more to Candace about how her life is now since she lost her CDL. So we'll be back in just a few minutes. You're listening to Tail Lights with the Baums on TNC Radio.
The best GPS for truck drivers. Although there's several GPS apps, it's better for truck drivers to rely on a system that's specifically geared toward their type of work. Smartphone apps lack the ability to show truckers the roads that are inaccessible to trucks. Buying the right GPS for trucking can be tricky and overwhelming. To save you from tons of research and reading reviews, the Truckers Network has listed the best GPS devices for truck drivers in 2020. Check out their website. Here's a brief list. Garmin Diesel 580 LMTS. The Garmin Diesel 580 LMTS is an easy-to-use GPS with hands-free Bluetooth and built-in Wi-Fi. It features customized truck routing for the size and weight of your truck. It also provides helpful predictive route warnings for dangerous curves, steep grades, bridge heights, weight limits, and more. You can find nearby hotels, restaurants, and parking with their easy brake planning. This GPS is truly made for the long haul. Other features include customized truck routing, built-in directory of truck and trailer services, easy brake planning, and service history log. The TomTom Trucker 620. The TomTom Trucker 620 is a 6-inch GPS navigation device that allows you to get the most out of your driving time. The TomTom Trucker 620 can connect by Wi-Fi, and that lets you update without a computer. It makes calling and messaging easier by providing hands-free calling and smartphone services. It also provides free real-time traffic updates and truck maps throughout North America. Other features include battery lifetime up to an hour. It reads messages out loud from a smartphone. It's compatible with Siri and Google Now. It has customized truck routing. The Garmin Drive Smart 61 LMTS. This Garmin device makes trucking much easier. The Navigator features a collection of smart features, in addition to easy-to-follow instructions and helpful driver alerts. It also provides hands-free calling, live traffic information, and built-in Wi-Fi. With this GPS device, all you have to do is look up and drive. Other features include voice-activated navigation, Bluetooth calling, select live parking, and a rechargeable lithium-ion battery that lasts up to an hour. Trucking Moves America Forward, or TMAF, is boosting the image of the industry by telling the story of trucking, and your story can be part of it. Upload a photo, tell us what you love about trucking, or send us a story about a good deed or charitable act in trucking. Be sure to follow us on social media and contact us through truckingmovesamerica.com. That's truckingmovesamerica.com.
Truckers Life Radio from TFC Global with your host, Ron Frazier, every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. On the show, Ron interviews guests to help inform professional drivers just like you about the importance of things like human trafficking to sex addiction, to how to overcome the impossible odds on the way to success. Every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern.
And welcome back in TNC Radio.live. This is Keep On Talking. I'm sorry, this is Taillights. See, you did it to me. You threw me off, Angie. It's all your fault.
That's so funny.
All right, welcome back in.
Welcome back in, everybody. So we've been talking with my friend Candace, and we were talking before the break about her diagnosis that she's had. And so, I mean, I was going to ask you, you know, I'm sure we were talking a little bit before the break about what a hard transition it had to be going from, you know, being a truck driver and being in a teaming situation to now you're a passenger, you know, your husband's driving. how else has your life changed since getting that diagnosis and then losing your CDL because of it?
Oh, it's changed a lot. So I can't be left alone. So I have to, I feel like I have to have a babysitter. You know what I mean? Like, I'm 34 years old and I have to have someone watch over me. And that's hard for me because I'm an independent person. I mean, I know we were a team driver, but he slept when I was driving and I slept when he was driving. So we were still not at each other's throat all the time. And now, like, I sit in the front seat beside of him and I'm like, ugh. And I still tell it, he's like, you can't be a passenger seat driver. But I catch myself like, you need to brake, you need to brake.
Well, yeah, because you've got all that knowledge in your head. It's not going to go away. You were a driver for so long. So, I mean, if things were reversed and I was in your shoes, I'd be doing the same thing. I'd be correcting Larry all the time. You're not doing that right. Slow down.
It's hard not to. Once it gets in your system, it's hard to get it out. But that was a big adjustment. There was, when I did my chemo, I had went out with him once, and they told me when I started, this is a new kind of chemo, and you're not going to lose your hair. So on my second treatment, I was feeling okay at that point when I started it, and I had went out with him and we had stopped for a shower, and I took a shower and literally my hair just washed right off. So that was really hard learning, things to do like bandanas or wigs or different things to do, especially being on the road. That one hit really hard too.
I mean, as men, our hair is almost like our identity. I think every woman is like that. So when you lose that, I know when my mom went through cancer and she lost her hair, I mean, it's horrible. And then now you, on the other hand, you're gorgeous. With makeup, without makeup, whatever, you're gorgeous. And you always wear the beautiful bandanas. But it's hard. And it almost feels like, I think a piece of you is gone when you lose your hair. It's like your identity.
Absolutely. My hair, I always told everyone, whenever they would say, what is your favorite thing about you? It would be like, I would always say my hair. And then, when it fell out, like I got so self-conscious about it. I was like, man, this is bad. And, but, I found ways, I went through so many different wigs that I liked, or bandanas, or just cover-ups, just to get through it. But there was a while that I just hid in the truck unless I had to go to the bathroom, and then I'd put a hoodie on.
Yeah, I could totally see that, because, it would totally tear down your self-esteem. You don't feel like yourself.
No, not at all. And when I was on the chemo, I also took steroids. So I ballooned out. So on top of losing my hair, losing my eyebrows, losing my eyelashes, I lost it all. And then I started gaining weight.
Well, and I think what's remarkable about you is anybody that has had an opportunity to talk with you or even see you on TikTok, you're always so positive. You're going through so much, especially right now. You're going through so much, yet you've always got this positive attitude. You're always telling everybody, love your faces and you're valued. How do you stay so upbeat when you're going through all this?
Honestly, so there was a little girl when I got diagnosed on TikTok. Her name was Jocelyn, and she didn't have the same form of brain cancer that I had, but she had brain cancer. And I kept telling myself, if this little girl can wake up every day and put a smile on her face and go through the chemo and the radiation that, we went through the same kind, and she still smiled through it all. And I said, I can't be an adult and dwell on what I can't have, or dwell on the pain. If this child is able to do this, I need to be stronger. And I always say, I would do my whole cancer chemo. I would keep cancer forever if I could, and do chemo all over if it meant that a child didn't get cancer.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
And that was, she was kind of like, my little 4-year-old role model. I looked up to that little girl, and that's hard to say, but I seen so much strength in her, and if she made it through and smiled, I always said I would make it through and smile. So.
Oh, that's awesome. I was like, when I first met you and we first got to talking, I had no idea that you were, until one day you just casually brought it up. And I remember I got in, and I was just like, how does this woman have so much positivity and so much love for so many people when she has just been through, hell over the last few years? And you're always just so positive, and you always lift everybody up. And it amazes me, because not everybody can be like, and I'm sure you still have your days where it's hard.
Yeah. There are days where I am a complete bitch, and there are days, where I still just, I'll have days, if I have a cluster of seizures at nighttime while I'm sleeping, and I get up the next morning, he's like, you had a really bad night. And I'm like, yeah, I can feel it. And there are days where I don't even want to get out of bed. But I do get out of, I make it a point to at least get up, because the doctor told me the longer that you lay there and you dwell on things and you don't try to find something to do or try something positive, even if it's just getting out of bed and putting your socks on, tell yourself good job.
Oh, that's smart. Yeah. That's really good advice, because I think we all have those moments where, depression hits you and you don't want to get out of bed and you don't want to do anything. And that's really good advice.
Yeah. And there's, I live by this saying that, no matter how bad my day is, someone in the world wishes they had my problems. So
that's true.
There's always someone out there, no matter how bad you think it is, there's somebody out there that's doing worse.
Oh, absolutely. So go ahead.
If I can be a smile for someone, or I can be, an uplift or help somebody, or, just even if I can just send you $5 to make you smile, I'm all about it.
You're so sweet. I want to tell everybody, or give you an opportunity to, if people would like to follow you and learn more about you, how would they be able to find you on social media?
So my whole cancer journey is documented on my TikTok at Peterbilt Princess 2. And that's where you can see like the tumor in my brain. You can see, I think I have the other, once I started my 4th treatment, I think I have pictures up there of the new tumors. I documented my whole cancer, or my whole chemo journey on there. I also have Facebook under Candace Keys Shiflett, and Instagram is Peterbilt Princess.
Awesome. We also, along with our friend Lisa, we have started an organization called 32 Truckers a Day. And so when we come back from commercial, I figured this would be a great opportunity for Candace and I to kind of talk about that, and how this came about, how it came into fruition, and maybe our hopes and dreams for what we're hoping to do with 32 Truckers a Day. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll continue our conversation with Candace. You are listening to Taillights with the Baums on TNC Radio.
Be sure to listen to Building Strong Minds with Dr. Chris, Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, right here on tncradio.live.
Hi, I'm Dr. Christopher Cortman, and now for the Mental Health Minute. My 3rd grade teacher, Mrs. Tuminello, used to say, A word to the wise, and we would all have to say in unison, is sufficient. Well, I have learned after 35 plus years of therapy, a word to the wise isn't always sufficient. In fact, sometimes we need to be encouraged. We need to be reminded. We need to get a second DUI. We need to have somebody walk out on us. We need our physician to say, if you don't stop smoking next year, I'll be here for the physical, but you won't. Sometimes we need to have things repeated over and over until we finally get it. And sometimes it takes many words to the wise to be sufficient. And Mrs. Tuminello, God bless you wherever you might be at this time. Hi, I'm Dr. Christopher Cortman, and now for the Mental Health Minute. One of the things I'm in the habit of teaching my patients is that the mind is kind of like the stomach. That is, sometimes we have things that are undigested, and when there's undigested material, it has the power to repeat on us. But there's a major difference between the mind and the stomach. Because the stomach can only keep things undigested for 8-9 hours, and then it's all out of there. But the mind can keep undigested material for an entire lifetime, 70, 80 years. In fact, frequently I'll have people talk about things they've never talked about before, or things that they've blocked out for many years. Traumas, terrible things from their childhood, things from combat, or car accidents, or ugly moments from watching their parents conflict. The key is digest everything in your system, and often that means bringing it up and facing it, feeling it, expressing it, and then releasing it. And then you know what happens? It's finally digested, and it stops repeating on you.
It's Truckers Life Radio from TFC Global with your host, Ron Frazier. Monday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Here we're helping drivers as they travel life's highway. I love that. The spiritual side, drivers face a lot out on the road. Truckers Life Radio digs in on the spiritual and moral questions that drivers face on a daily basis. You don't want to miss it. Every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Hello, I'm Ron Samuels. I put it in reverse gear here Monday through Thursday nights at 10, 9 Central on tncradio.live. Do you believe in the power of prayer? Whether you're moving down the highway or taking a break, now's a good time to take a moment to tell God your hopes, concerns, and gratitude. You want someone to pray with? No problem. Just call the TFC Global 24-Hour Prayer Line. It's 866-515-9406. By the way, if you're using the tncradio.live app, just press the prayer line button to be connected to a prayer warrior who will confidentially pray with and for you. The number again, 866-515-9406, or tap the prayer line button at the tncradio.live app.
And welcome back in, TNC Radio.live. This is Taillights with the Baums. Now here's Angie.
Well, welcome back, everybody. So before break, we were talking with Candace, and we had actually we're in the process of starting a new organization called 32 Truckers a Day, and we're in the process of getting our 501c3 charity, and so I figured I would let you, Candace, kind of tell everybody how this came about and the vision of it, and kind of tell everybody a little bit about it.
Well, it came about when I did a fundraiser for a lady, and she is part of the trucking community, and the drivers were coming in the charity or the fundraiser, and they were, depressed and sitting in traffic, or they were upset. And I had one gentleman that messaged me, and he said, "Hey, I'm out here on the road and I don't have anything to eat tonight." So I told my husband, and he said, "Okay, send him $30." So we sent him $30, and I said, I wonder how many other truckers are out here that don't have a warm meal tonight. And he said, probably a lot more than you know, Candace. And I said, I want to help them all. So, so I thought, okay, well, let's start something. Let me do some research, and let's start something, and let's try to help as many as we can. So then he, in the midst of all this planning, he's like, Candace, I hear people giving out these gift bags, or they give out a shower or whatever. He said, let's give out shower bags. And I said, what? He said, sometimes when you're pretty cranky, I take you straight to a shower and it turns your mood around. And I said, you're absolutely right. So that kind of got us on the idea of the shower bags that we hand out. And I actually handed out 8 of them this Monday. So we do that, send, money for warm meals. If a driver needs a hotel for the night, we've even been known to do that. And it just,
yep.
And then we were all talking, and I was like, what if they just need someone to talk to? So Miss Lisa and Miss Andy was like, yeah, some people just need to listen. They don't have that. So we started the 888 hotline for non-crisis chats. If they call, and they are in a crisis mode, we always tell them, call or text 988. But I've heard quite a few stories, and we've helped quite a few drivers. It's been great.
It really has been. And I did want to share the hotline number, and then we'll talk a little bit more about it. But I'll repeat it again throughout the show. But the hotline number is 888-675-2565. And so that's a number that is on 24 hours a day, and it's manned by Candace, myself, and Lisa, and a couple of the other drivers. And if you ever need somebody just to talk to, or maybe you're having a bad day, or maybe, like Candace said, you need a hot meal or a shower, or maybe you just need a little bit of help, you can call that. And the one thing Candace, Lisa, and I will tell you is, if you call and we answer and you would prefer to talk to a man, that is not a problem. We have plenty of men that you can talk to as well.
Yes, because, we all have husbands, and then, even my dad has offered, if all of the husbands are busy and someone needs a male to talk to, ring them through to my phone. I'll talk to them. And my dad's a paramedic.
Absolutely.
So, he deals in a little bit of that.
Which is important. And I think the three of us together, and Candace, you and I are so similar. I think that's why we get along so well. Is I'm like you. When you made the comment about, I was wondering how many truckers didn't have meals. I'm like, I want to feed them all. And I'm exactly the same way. And I think what people don't understand right now is that we're having a lot of issues with the broker and freight rates right now. And so there's a lot of truckers right now that are in a financial situation that they may not have found themselves in years. And so there's a lot of truckers right now that are financially hurting. I mean, I talked to a trucker just the other day that he's sending home his entire paycheck to his wife and kids, and he's living on like $50 a week to eat his meals and to get by because his pay has been cut so much. So sometimes that hot meal means a lot to somebody.
Mm-hmm. One of the first drivers that we helped actually did that same thing and sent her pay. She was actually the truck driver. Her husband was at home with their kids, and she sent the money back home, and she hadn't eaten in 3 days.
Yes.
And I was like, absolutely not. And Lisa was like, let's send her money now. And before she even got out of the restaurant, she was eating out of the bag. And she said that she got her belly full, and she actually, for the first time in a week, had slept a full 12 hours. And she said the next day she felt totally different.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I think when people think of truck drivers, they're like, oh, truck drivers make good money. Why would they need a hot meal, or why would they need a shower, or why would they need a hotel stay? And unfortunately, there's a lot of things going on in the trucking industry right now, and there's a lot of people that are suffering. And when you complex that, people start getting the depression sets in. And so that's kind of where we step in and try to, offer a little assistance and a little help. I mean, just last week, we helped somebody out by sending groceries to them because they didn't have any food. And so we all pitched in and ordered groceries through Instacart and had groceries delivered to them.
Yeah. And then this week, actually this Monday, I had talked to a female truck driver when I was handing out our shower bags, and she had just started with a company. She didn't want to say, but she had just started with a company, and she wasn't going to be able to shower for a week. And I was like, absolutely no, ma'am. I said, you're at a Love's. Is that where you fuel up? And she said, yes. So I screenshot my Love's card, and I got her phone number, and I texted it over to her, and I said, we have unlimited showers. Please use as many as you want.
Yeah. And see, that's awesome. It's just the small little things like that can make such a huge difference to somebody, especially like what you just said, when they're just starting out. When they're just starting out, they haven't built up their fuel credits in order to get those free showers. And we know showers are costly. They're anywhere from $12 to $20 for just a shower.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's crazy. And then if you have to team shower.
Yes, or pay for parking. That's something too. If the only place that's open when you try to park at night is a reserved parking, well, there's another $20 you got to pay in order just to have a safe place to park. So trucking can be really super expensive.
Very. And with that stress comes, depression and anxiety. And, I always say, and I got this from Dr. Cortman, he had made mention in one of our Monday shows of, a window being a beautiful thing. And I was like, you know what? A window is a beautiful thing, but don't let your mind make it so dark that it's not enjoyable anymore. Because you go down the road and that's when we're at home, you get upset, you get that anxiety built up. You jump in your car, you go for a little ride, and they can't do that because they ride all the time, and they can't clear their head because they have all of these miles a day just staring out the window.
I always say I get my best thinking done while I'm driving, and that can be a good thing and that can be a bad thing. Because
absolutely.
It's like if you're suffering or, having a little bit of depression, they can really make you into a very dark place. But I want to let everybody know that if they would like more information about 32 Truckers a Day, you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And on Friday nights, we have a game night every Friday night, 8 p.m. Central on TikTok, where you can come in and have some fun and get to know us and get to know the other drivers and maybe win a game. And then we have our own show here on TNC Radio on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Central called In It for the Long Haul. And then also Sundays at 2 p.m. Central on TikTok. We have a driver's chat every Sunday at 2 p.m. Our drivers can just come in and talk about their week. So if you haven't had a chance to check us out, please be sure to stop by and do that. Did I leave out any social media? I think that's the big three, right?
Yeah, I think that's it. Wednesday we do a wife chat. We won't do that this evening because of, life things come up today. But on Wednesdays we do a wife chat. If any trucker wives would like to come in and chat, and we share tips for new truck driver wives, packing, tips for storage, cooking. So that's always a fun live. And we do that at 8 Central, typically on Wednesdays.
Yeah, right after the show. So every Wednesday, except for tonight, be sure to join us over on TikTok and join us for that chat as well. We're going to take another commercial break, and when we come back, we'll continue talking with Candace all about 32 truckers a day. You're listening to Taillights with the Baums on TNC Radio.
As a professional driver, the engineers at Front Lane know that you remain focused on the road regardless of weather and traffic conditions. That's not always true of the drivers behind you. Every 9 minutes, another commercial vehicle is rear-ended by a driver failing to control their speed. And guess who gets the blame? When you have to brake quickly, Tailbone illuminates a series of bright LED lights that allow the driver behind you to react up to 50% faster. Using amazing accelerometer technology and a battery that will last for years, Tailbone meets the standards set by the NHTSA and the FMCSA. Learn more by visiting www.frontlane.com/tailbone. That's www.frontlane.com/tailbone. Approved in all 50 states, it's Tailbone by Front Lane. Eating right and eating healthy are two of the toughest challenges truckers face. Sometimes the only way to eat right is to bring food along for the ride. As a professional truck driver, you know that space is limited in your truck cab. Living on the road with limited storage space means you have to get creative on how you store your personal belongings. Drivers will spend weeks away from home, so their semi-truck becomes their home away from home. Truck drivers are pros at making the road feel like home, and stocking up on food is one of the ways they make it feel more like home. With a number of unhealthy food options on the road, drivers need to pack healthier foods and snacks. Food storage is essential to keep your truck clean and organized. It also helps you easily see what foods you have with you on the road. Keep listening to learn some storage ideas for long-haul truck drivers. An electric cooler. An electric cooler is a great way to store perishable items in your truck. They're lightweight and large enough to store and cool down several drinks and snacks. They're also a great alternative to mini fridges. Canned foods. Canned foods are great for truckers because they require little or no preparation. They're also extremely cheap. You may want to consider buying a food warmer if you prefer a hot meal. When storing cans in your truck, we suggest putting them into a container and placing them under the lower bunk. This limits the cans rolling around in your truck while you're driving. Storage containers. Storage containers will be a trucker's best friend when you're on the road. Drawers and storage containers are great for storing clothes, toiletries, and food. 3-drawer storage containers make it easy to organize and store your favorite foods or drinks. Baskets. Baskets allow you to find the food you need quickly and easily. We recommend using clear baskets so you can easily see what's in the baskets. You'll need to secure the baskets so they don't move around while you're driving. Buy some bungee cords to keep your baskets secure in the bunk or cabinets. If you want more information on proper storage and food storage ideas, check out the Truckers Network blog, 5 Helpful Organization Tips for Truck Drivers. Hi, I'm Shelley Johnson with TNCRadio.live. You know me for the Truckers Network radio show and Women Road Warriors that I co-host with Kathy Tuccaro. We know that life as a driver is not easy. Do you believe in the power of prayer? Whether you're moving down the highway or taking a break, you can take a moment right now to tell God about your hopes, concerns, and gratitude. Do you want someone to pray with? No problem. Just call the TFC Global 24-hour prayer line. It's 866-515-9406. That's 866-515-9406. Or if you're using the TNCRadio.live app, just press the prayer line button to be connected to a prayer warrior who will confidentially pray with you and for you. Thank you, and God bless.
Building Strong Minds with Dr. Christopher Kortman every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. As a professional driver, you are always being told about the importance of physical fitness, your health. But what about mental fitness? On the show each week, we take on a new topic, from loneliness to the power of gratitude to how to build strong relationships, all from the perspective of a driver's life. It's every Monday on TNC Radio Live at 7 p.m. Eastern. It's Building Strong Minds.
And welcome back in on a Wednesday night, May the 31st, 2023. We're live, and this is Keep On Talking. No, it's not. This is Taillights with the Baums. What can I tell you? We're not on our A game tonight.
Oh my God, that's funny. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Angie, and I'm here with Candace. Oh, I think I totally messed up Tom, because during our first commercial break, I told him, I said, I almost called our show Keep On Talking, which is Tom's show. Anyway. Oh, Lord. I want to remind everybody that coming up next, we've got Clutch Time Sports with Anderson and Baker. So if you haven't had a chance to listen to their show, please stick around. It's a great show all about sports, and they're super awesome guys. But we've been talking with Candace a little bit about her life, and then 32 truckers a day. So I was going to ask you, I know, you, me, and Lisa, we talk all the time, and we have so many great ideas. But I think the biggest thing is that, we kind of want 32 truckers a day to really focus on the mental health of truckers. Can you kind of explain to everybody who may not be familiar why we feel that that's such an important aspect of it?
So if you go to, and, it's sad because truckers keep the world, they keep America moving. And if you go to look up statistics about truck drivers' mental health, it's next to none. And let alone getting help. So, I wanted to, and as well as you and Lisa, wanted to have something that they could reach out and say, hey, I'm struggling, I need this or I need that. And we have a wealth of organizations, and I've referred people to 988. And some people just don't know about that, or they're afraid to call that number because they're afraid of what they're going to hear when they call.
Yes.
And if I said it, if we can help drivers find out where they need to go and what they need to do, where they need to be, get the help they need. As long as we have one driver a day, I'm good with that. Because that's one
Absolutely.
driver that is not, if we help more, that's fantastic.
Absolutely. And I want to remind everybody again, I'm going to give you the hotline number, but I also want to remind you that if you have downloaded the TNC Radio app, which I highly recommend, because then you can listen to our shows so easily, but you can find our toll-free number on the TNC app right at the bottom. But the toll-free number, again, is going to be 888-675-2565. And it's a phone number that you can call 24 hours a day if you just need somebody to talk with. Maybe you're having a bad day, or maybe you need some assistance. Maybe you need a hot meal or a shower. And if we can't help you, we have resources that we can reach out to. We work with a lot of other organizations. So don't ever feel that you can't call us and just say, hey, I need some help. That's what we're here for.
Absolutely. And that 888 number, you can also text that number. If you don't want to call and you just want to text and chat, you can text that number as well.
Absolutely, because we know that there's a lot of people that sometimes texting is a lot easier than having to get onto the phone and actually talk to a live person. So if you need to text and you just want to text, by all means, you can text that number, and one of us will definitely get back to you and reach out to you. Now,
yes, we just ask that you don't do it going down the road.
Yes, please don't do that. Let's not do that. So if somebody wanted to make a donation to 32 truckers a day, can you explain to them a little bit about where the money goes and how they could make a donation?
Yeah, you can make a donation to our Cash App, or that is the money sign 32, the number's 32, truckers a day. And we also now have a Venmo, which is Thank a Trucker, with the first letters being capitalized, TAT. And that's on Venmo. But the donations go to providing the warm meals, or groceries, or the shower bags, items in the shower bags. We also have if you don't wish to donate monetarily and you want to help with donations for our shower bags, we have an Amazon wish list under 32 Truckers a Day that's open. And that has everything that we put in shower bags. But that's where all of our donations go. It all goes straight back into 32 Truckers a Day. We do not keep one dime of it.
Absolutely. And again, if you would like more information about 32 Truckers a Day, or to learn a little bit more about our organization, you can go onto Facebook and join our Facebook group. It's 32 Truckers a Day. Or you can also find us on Instagram and TikTok. Again, on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Central, we have the Wednesday Wives Chat. It won't be on tonight, but we'll be back next Wednesday. Friday night at 8 p.m. Central on TikTok, we have our Friday night game night, which is a lot of fun. You can come in and play some games. This week, we're going to be doing landmarks. So you can come in and maybe win a prize and meet some other truckers and truckers' wives. Then on Sunday at 2 p.m. Central, we have Truckers Chat, where you can come in and just talk about how your week went and, let us know how that was. Also, Monday nights, we'll be with Dr. Portman on his show at 6 p.m. Central. And I almost forgot, we have our show here on TNC Radio Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Central, in it for the long haul. That's a lot. We have a lot going on.
We do. We're busy.
We are busy girls. And just a quick reminder before we get ready to go, if somebody wanted to follow you, Candace, how could they find you?
I am on TikTok under Peterbilt Princess 2, and my backup is Peterbilt Princess 2.0. I am on Instagram at Peterbilt_Princess, and you can also follow me on Facebook, Candace Keys Shiflett.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being with me, sweetie.
Thank you for having me.
And for those of you guys who follow Lynn, I appreciate it. And for those of you guys that follow Larry and I, you can also find us on Facebook and TikTok under Married to the Road. And you can also find our Treat a Trucker program on Facebook as well. And we will see you guys back here next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central. Thanks, everybody. You've been listening to Taillights with the Baums on TNC Radio.